everybody. Hello, Monday Morning Jumpstart. Hi, Ted. How are you?
What's happening? What's happening, everybody?
Ted, I have a surprise for you that you don't even know about.
You throwing something up? All right, I'm
Today
down.
is our 100th episode.
Is it really?
It is. Can you believe it?
I didn't know that. That's
Dude,
crazy. Is
isn't
it
it
really
crazy?
100?
We've done 100. Yes. Well, there are 100 Monday Morning Jumpstarts out there in the world. Isn't that wild?
That's it. That is wild.
I mean,
That is
I
very
feel like
wild.
so everybody, Ted truly didn't know this, but I told him that I wanted the theme of today is to be celebration. And now you know why, Ted.
Love it.
I
I
do
love
think
it.
something we never talk about, Ted and I just get on here and gab and like talk and share our thoughts. But there's Alan that edits these videos. There's Molly and the marketing team that get them up on the page and on YouTube and all these places so that people can listen and watch and grow. So like shout out to everybody and obviously to people that listen, Ted. People actually listen to us. Can you believe
You
it?
know what's interesting that you're saying that you say celebrate. I've had so many people reach out to me on LinkedIn, which is really the only platform that I
Yeah.
mess with, but about these Monday morning jump starts. And
Same.
so you talk about like just settling in. Like number one, I can't believe that we've done 100 of them. That's pretty wild to me.
Right.
Um, who's counting? And
Yeah.
then, but number two, I think it's just a good for me. But now I kind of relay it to everybody else to pause sometimes. As much as I'm say to many people, like you really don't understand the impact that you're having on people. Um, and sometimes like you have to settle into that. So I like that you surprised me and paused me on this one because I do think that you're right. I think these are powerful because we get on here and we talk about things that we care about. But
Yes.
more importantly, we're talking about things, in my opinion, a person that's in the world doing this work every day that most people aren't talking about on the regular.
Yes. And
You
it's
know what
it's
I mean?
almost
They're
like
not
a
pausing.
vulnerability, right? Like you don't just like have these conversations with your friends, right? Um,
No.
but I also like how amazing to celebrate everybody that listens because you know that they are striving for change and want something different and want better and greater in their lives. And so like that's what
Mhm.
I love about this, right? Whenever and it's so funny, it's true. Like I'll see that from people on LinkedIn and they always mention Monday morning jump starts. And I just love to do these. And then you're like, oh yes, people are listening on the other end, right? And receiving. But to me, the most amazing part of that is that there's so many people that are just like working hard at the stuff that we talk about like every day. And like
Yeah.
you're not only making your life better, but in my beliefs, you're making the world better because by you being a better person, you're making it a
Yeah.
better place, right? So
Amen. Amen.
yay to
Well,
everyone.
look,
So
I mean, it's the people that are getting on. One of the things that I think this is kind of a motivator for me, but probably not probably the most common thing that is said to me that is the biggest motivator for me is that people will say to me, I feel like you're talking directly to me.
mm,
I hear it all the time. That signals to me is that, as if you've heard that old adage, we're more alike than we are different. And
yes.
when we come to realize that, like we don't have to be at odds. We don't have to be in competition when we're out there trying to grow our businesses, trying to do good, trying to gain more revenue. There's plenty to go out there,
Mhm,
right? To go around and that we're all in this together. And
mhm.
the human experience, this is why people have heard me say on this show or this MMJ, I am fascinated by the human experience and the intersection of business, the human
Mhm,
experience
mhm.
in business, right? And when people say that to me, like, I feel like you're talking directly to me, I go, little did they know, like somebody just told me that yesterday too.
Yeah, yeah. And I needed to hear
And
it, right?
yeah, and we're all, man, we're in this together. As cliche and foo-foo or woo-woo as you would say, as that sounds, if we don't slow down and have these conversations, we're not going to realize that.
Yeah.
And then I could go on a whole tangent here. We're missing connection. We're missing business partnerships. We're missing all kinds of stuff.
Well, and I'll see your cliche and I'll match your cliche because at the same tone, like yes, we get to be on here and we have a platform to talk about this. But because we have done these things and can do these things and everybody is the same, that means you listening can do it as well, right? Nothing makes Ted and I any different from anybody listening if I can do something and I can achieve a goal and I can make change in my life, so can you. You're exactly the same as me, right?
Oh God. Yeah. It's flattering when people, you know, whether they meet me in person or whatever, and they're like, "Oh my God, you know, this are you kidding?" And I'm
It's
like,
Capshaw.
"Oh my God, I'm just a dude trying to do things, got riddled with insecurity, trying to figure this stuff out together, and really just share experiences." And
Yeah,
that's really what MMJ is about. It's
yeah,
about sharing. You're not going to grab everything. Like you've never
yeah,
heard Jade or I say like, "This is the script. This
yeah.
is the way to success." No, what we're really trying to do here, and I don't know, is this what we're supposed to be talking
Who
about, Jade?
who
Like you're just,
who knows?
but I mean, literally, what we're doing here is we're really trying to throw some things out for you to think about
Yeah.
and take action on. 100% take
Yes.
action on. But by no way is this business in a box,
No.
or this is the script to live a meaningful and fulfilling and prosperous life. Words that we've thrown around.
Yeah.
We don't have all the answers. We don't even, I don't even think we're proposing that we have answers, as
No.
much as we've had experiences that have worked and not worked,
Yes.
and that's what we're here for, you to be introspective.
Yeah. And it's so funny because it's like I've heard this from somebody else and it resonated with me and it helped me do better. So I want you
That's
to
right.
hear this, right?
That's
That's
right.
so
That's right.
it's not me being the prophet. It's me, it's something that
Paying
somebody
forward.
else taught me and I heard that I want other people to hear. And so to bring it all the way around and back to the front, Ted, a part of that for me, and I feel like we talked about this in the first like when we started talking about what's at risk, we touched on this a little bit, but that celebration and that win, like I am so big on this, like I can almost live in this space sometimes, but when I don't celebrate and look back and realize what I have accomplished, I get so caught
Mhm.
up in that I'm not enough, right? That I'm not good enough, I don't do enough, I'm not contributing enough. And then it takes that like stop and like, look, oh my gosh, we've done 100 episodes. Look, oh my gosh, people like this. Like it takes that pause and that realization of your win. And I think if you're in a funk, it is the best way to get out of a funk. You can even say like, I ate healthy breakfast, like you can go like so minimal on celebrating a win, but it like sparks something out of you that helps propel a positive change forward when you really need it, and it works for me.
I love it. I stink at it. I mean, that's my truth. I mean, it's
Yeah,
interesting because I told you my wife said spend more money in the
yeah,
right way a couple episodes ago, and religiously every year I say we need to celebrate more.
yeah, yeah,
Like, man, we built this amazing thing and whatever. And now that you're speaking out loud, I just did this yesterday. I got the end of year stuff you get financially, right? And I got our 401k statements um, in the mail. And I never have done this before. I actually opened it up and looked at it. And at the top of the page, it said Angel Capshaw, my wife, care of CO, Ted Capshaw and Associates, 401k. And for whatever reason in that moment, it smacked me hard. And I'm like, number one, it's going to be 15 years in business this year. But my wife's 401k is under my business's name. Like it used to be under limited corporation, some big business. And that was, I mean, to your point, I was like, oh my God, do we ever slow down to realize like how cool this is? I didn't even look at the numbers. Like that wasn't what caught my eye. What caught my eye was like this thing that started as a little pipe dream 15 years ago. There's actually this piece of mail coming in the paper with my wife's name on it that has to do with our future financially. It's just weird, but worthy of celebration.
yeah. And I love that sometimes when you're not even doing it and then life forces you to do that, right?
Yeah, you're like, boom.
Yeah,
We got
yeah,
to
I
do
love
more of
it.
it, to your point, though. And if people are, sometimes I think people's ego gets in the way of celebrating because they're like, I don't want to seem egotistical and all the rest of that stuff. No, I think just the same that we try to create this platform for people to be vulnerable. It's an interesting thing that I think we need to work on being happy and celebrating as much.
Yes,
Like you bring up, and unless we do it, we don't give other people permission to do it either.
yes,
People feel
yes.
like I don't want to puff my chest out and seem egotistical. No, 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 man. I want to celebrate with you,
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
can't celebrate if I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, you're like my husband. He's not very good at it, and like, because I'm a big birthday
I'm
person,
horrible at it.
and I'm like, do you know how hard it is to stay alive every day. You know, like the odds are against you. You know what I mean? Like you take a breath, like the magic of your body and like what it does. You should at least be celebrating that once a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, like, and I feel like if you can have that
True.
and like remind yourself of that all the time, yeah, it's just going to create
True.
more ones, right? That's
True.
what it sparks.
It's
So
true.
like that's all for me today, Ted. Is I hope everyone writes
Hey,
down
I
their
love
names
it.
and yeah,
Well, I thank you. Right?
yeah,
Like that's cool. Like I didn't know it was 100 episode. You genuinely surprised me.
yeah,
But I also think it's a cool reflection point, and a reminder. I like this stamp that you put on it about celebrating.
yeah.
I don't know many people that are good at it consistently, but we need to get better at it.
Well, we have one more, Ted, and that is still on the goal track. So we're gonna keep on that this
Just kind of wrap it up in a bow.
series.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is almost like a methodology, I would say, or
How to
thought
move forward.
process of
Yep.
getting to your goal. But
Yep.
we will see everybody then. Thank you.